Hi folks, Christine Weber here with my weekly live stream. I usually try and come on around 11 on Wednesdays. I was having some camera struggles this morning, but I think I got it cleared up. So that's why I'm a little bit late. If you're watching the replay, thank you for watching the replay. I really appreciate it if you leave comments. And if you're watching me on YouTube, if you could make sure you subscribe to the channel, that really helps the algorithm show the videos to more people. Okay, so today I want to show you 3 ways you can help people lengthen their exhale in chair yoga classes. And you may be asking me, why lengthen the exhale? That might be a question that you're wondering about. All the way back to Pathology, right from the Yoga Sutras, we have the instruction to lengthen the exhale. And then all the way up to modern neuroscience, there's many research studies that show the benefits of learning to lengthen your exhale. So it's beneficial in terms of helping you to develop greater tolerance for CO2, and there's many benefits behind that. It's beneficial for helping to tune the cortical mantle, if you like, tune the cortex towards a parasympathetic mode, turn the whole nervous system towards a parasympathetic mode, which is really essential and important for healing. And also there's some research that suggests it's really helpful for reducing inflammation as well. So there's many benefits to lengthening the exhale, and that instruction comes right from Patanjali all the way through to modern day science. So we learn all sorts of fancy pranayamas in the yoga world, but really the most basic and foundational one is learning how to exhale. And many people don't do it very well. Why? Well, we live in this really high stress, high strung culture where people are on to the next thing. So we're good at inhaling, but we tend to be really bad at exhaling. So yoga is a great way to teach people to do that. I want to give you 3 steps that you can add, 3 cues, besides just saying like make sure you exhale a lot, or make sure you have a long exhale. Like, we can be much more specific about that. The first one I want to show you is using forward bend. So you can even do this in a chair class, even though I don't teach a ton of forward bends in chair class, but that a little bit is okay. So lower belly, as you lean forward, the lower belly comes in. So you're using the pressure of the forward bend into your thighs, or even into the hand, to help actually mechanically release more breath. And it's just such a simple thing to teach, but so helpful. So you could do it from seated, inhale, exhale from the lower belly. Just feel that pressure. And you can do it. Okay, now this time we're going to stay an extra second or an extra beat. So doing it like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? So inhale 4, exhale 4, sorry. Inhale back up. And the next time, exhale for 5. Count at your own pace. Now, if there is a pathology, including osteoporosis or some kind of a low back issue, then the forward bending is often not recommended. Better would be to teach people or explain, lie down on your back, on your bed when you're at home, and take your knees into your chest, or one knee at a time even. Another way to do it in a chair class is to use the chair, to put put your hands on a chair. So inhale, exhale, bend your knees a little bit, because that bending the knees presses the belly into the thighs. And that is another way to teach people how to exhale. So forward bending is one of the best ways to teach your students how to exhale, and you want to do it progressively. So starting with 3 or 4 counts, and you could do it 3 or 4 counts like 3 times, and then the next few. You don't want to over forward bend, because for a lot of people it's not further back. So you don't want to overdo it, but 5, 6 times for most people is okay. Now, the second one I want to teach you is using your arms. Why? Because when you inhale and take your arms up, it's a very natural movement, because the chest expands, or even arms out. The chest expands. So using the arms, you could do cactus arms, so you don't have to have straight arms. Using the arms to, as you're exhaling, it's not like the arms are really helping that much, but it's sort of assisting the natural recoil of the diaphragm on the exhale. And it just teaches people to lengthen it. So you can do the same thing. Exhale for 4. Use a little ujjayi in the back of your throat. It's helpful. Exhale for 5. And you could do that this way. Inhale, exhale for 4. And the hands come back to like the belly, and that little bit of proprioceptive feedback of the hands onto the belly can be helpful for increasing that passive recoil, which I'll talk about in more in a moment. That could be another way. You could do it with cactus arms. You can do one arm at a time. That's really interesting because that teaches you to work with that one lung. Not entirely, I mean, it's not entirely, but it teaches you, gives you the feedback for that side of the chest. So those are some different ways you can, and by the way, you can combine the arms and the forward bend. That works really well too. And then the third thing I'm going to teach you, which again, this doesn't have to be discrete, you can combine it with all of the other techniques I just showed you, is the low belly or navel awareness. I cannot tell you how many people I've worked with over the years who have no sense that their belly, no awareness that their belly moves at all when they breathe. They don't know how to belly breathe. They don't know how to engage the belly on the exhale. And frankly, in my opinion, learning how to exhale with the belly is even more important than learning how to inhale with the belly. And I'll save that for another video, but it's even more important because when you exhale, right, when you inhale, the diaphragm pushes down. When you exhale, it passively recoils. You don't have to do anything to exhale, right? But if you have anxiety, if you're not exhaling completely, if you're having any of those challenges, then learning how to use these accessory muscles of exhalation is so important. And the accessory muscles are transverse abdominis, but you're also using obliques and even a little, you can even use rectus a little bit. So because rectus does this, right? It does flexion. So, and maybe the iliac psoas is in there a little bit. So the way I like to teach this is with feedback from the hands. So the hands come to the lower belly, navel area, lower belly area. And just breathe in. And when you exhale, press a little bit, maybe with 10% of your strength, not much. And it's just teaching you that you have muscles there that help you with your exhale. So press it until you feel like, oh, I need to breathe in. And press again. So that little bit of pressure with the hands is really helpful for teaching lengthening the exhale. And you can do it with, a forward bend. You can do it. You don't have to use your hands. You can do it just with the muscles when you start to learn, so that you're combining that movement and the mechanical pressure of your quads and the releasing of your arm and the pulling in of your navel all together to support longer exhales. Now, one caveat I want to give you here before I finish up for today is that some people, the type A high functioning personalities, are going to overdo that. They're going to be sucking it in and overdoing it and doing too much. And they may end up lightheaded, dizzy, all of those things that we don't want. So always good to give the reminder to folks like, yes, it's great to be using these muscles. Yes, it's great to learn how to exhale, but there's balance in everything. And we want that exhale to feel really natural and comfortable and to elicit a parasympathetic response, not like, push you over the edge. That's one of the biggest problems with breathing practices, is that people overdo them. They can be hyperventilating. They can do all sorts of stuff that's not great for their nervous system in the long run. So we want to always, and that's actually, was the first thing that I learned from when I started studying breath work, is like comfortable. Pranayama is meant to be comfortable. It's meant to be easeful. It's meant to feel really good in your system. So keep that in mind. It's not about pushing or doing it right or like winning the Olympics of breathing. It's about being really comfortable and enjoying the breathing experience. So thank you so much for being here. Let me know what other topics you'd like me to cover, and I will see you next week. Take care.